what's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good?
Michael Burry dumps all of his stocks except for one.
Yeah.
What should that tell us about what's coming in the market? So for historical reference, if you don't know who Michael Burry is, if you haven't watched the movie The Big Short, you should. Very, very good. He's the one that made billions of dollars shorting the market in 2008 for the housing crash. So, he became legendary for that situation. And now, obviously, anytime that he speaks, people take it very seriously because of what happened in 2008. So he's, I guess, predicting that a very, very cold winter in stocks is coming. We've had a nice little rebound the last week or two, but he's not feeling it. So what's the deal with this?
So I'm gonna let you I just want to frame this up, right? So. There was 13 positions that Scion had. That's the group that his firm, right? They had 13 stocks that they invested in. Google was one of them. They sold that off. Meta was one. They sold that off. The one that they did keep is called Geo Group. You ever heard of Geo Group?
Yeah.
Geo Group is a Florida-based company that invests and operates private prisons. So they bought over $3 million in shares of the Geo Group, and since then that stock has gone up 12%, which is interesting. Out of everything to sell off, I mean, you had Fortune 100 like Google, Alphabet. You had Alphabet and you had Meta, which is another top 10 as far as market cap. But you let those go, and you kept the company that invests in private prisons. And if you ever, we've talked about this in detail about the impact that private prisons have on our communities for sure, and how, they profit off of making prisoners. So that's interesting. I'll let you go. I'll finish it up.
Yeah. The reason, let's address the private prison thing. I'm anti-investing in prison. I don't care how much money is involved. I would never invest in the sector. The reason why they did though, is because it's an indication of who's going to be in office when election cycles turn over. So if you talk to anybody politically, they're pretty much telling you like, hey, these next 3 to 4 years, politically, the landscape is going to change very aggressively and very fast. But the reason why he sold off Meta, he also had an Apple short that he got rid of. Now we're just in the middle. It's not an ideal time to initiate any buys. So if you're looking to put capital to use right now, things aren't low enough to buy. They're not high enough to short, so we kind of just ride in the middle. But since crime is going up, we're going to have to change politically. Hate to say it, I don't see how Biden could win re-election unless The Rock runs with him and the current VP sits down. And we can talk about the Trump thing later with the FBI, but they are potentially propping him up for a run again. Things are going to change very fast, and that's why I'm saying now if China collapses on top of that, next year, which, I know some of you are going to be like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, but home sales are down 28.6% in China. Private investment homes are down 12.3%. So if home sales are down 28%, and I know everybody on Instagram, every realtor is telling you the market's still going up. No, it's not. China's our parent. So if they have the flu financially, we're going to get pneumonia next year or COVID-25, right? And things are going to be bad. And we're going to go through a period for maybe 2 or 3 years where it feels like 99 through 2001, 2002 all over again, where we're just floating up and down and we're not having any breakout movement. Private equity is deploying capital a little slower. We're just not in a great economic environment. The great part is if you're an investor and you can wait this out, the number one advantage that we have as retail investors is that we can hold longer than most institutions. That's where all the money is. So we have 14 years of quantitative easing, free-flowing money. Now the people that can actively invest and be patient and hold for long term are going to win. So when everybody was getting them easy option trade, y'all still trading options or no? Easy penny, not y'all. I'm talking to
I'm about to say, raise your
hand.
hand.
I'm talking to the audience. Easy penny stocks. I know it was a little war and campaign against me. Hey, where are we now? Kathy having issues. You can't cycle through all those stocks and all those trades. Now we're going to see who actually can invest, but it's going to be a game of long term. So please look at the big picture, the macroeconomic environment. I know it seems scary, But this is the time that you want. Everybody in 2020 was like, damn, I wish the market would come down. Here we are. Now you get an opportunity to build for the future, suffer and sacrifice for 2 or 3 years to be able to get your family in the position that you want to be. And if you're scared in this market to invest, either you have not listened to me or you have not done your research. That's it. And yes, listen to Michael Burry, because damn near everything he said and predicted has come true.
So, all right, let's talk about this China situation. Since you referenced China a few times so far this show. Oh, you said China at the beginning. You said China will collapse. You want to put that into context? I'm gonna give you opportunity to put this into context.
Mike, clip this up. China gonna fall. So I'm gonna do like all the spicy. I've learned.
What's the first domino, Ian? Is it the housing market?
Yeah, it's the housing market, because they're going through what we really went through in 2007 and 2008. Like, two things. I told you guys last year. Now, if y'all don't listen, that don't have nothing to do with me, baby. Evergrande, number one. Now, if the following 4, 2 through 5 fall apart, and now if you saw a couple weeks ago, they had military trucks in front of the bank saying, you can't take your money out of our bank because that is considered an investment of ours. What is that call for those of you who work in the financial industry? So now if you can't withdraw money and the real estate market is soft, to say the least, and then you got SoftBank, who was throwing money around like they were spending money in Magic City into all these startups, and most of them didn't do well. What does that tell you? They went through a cycle of growth, of grandeur, how we went through in 2007 and 2008, and now they're going to pay the price. And now, because they own a lot of our debt and intellectual property, we are going to feel it as well. So I know people are not going to agree. My job is to not tell you what you want to hear. My job is to tell you the truth. And let's be very honest. Put yes in chat if you've heard me say crazy stuff like this before every hedge fund, before Buffett, and then 3 months later, it's like, yeah, this is why the market is falling. You'll make a lot more. Just listen. I'm gonna be real. Just listen to what I tell you. If not, the people who say that I'm wrong, tell them to put some money in your pocket. If I made you money, let me get yes in chat. We're going to end all debating. I know everybody want a debate show and y'all want to do $1 million worth of game stock edition. No. It's a big show here.
The big show. The big show.
The biggest
Mike,
show.
clip this up.
The big show.
Okay. Hot take. Ian.
It's data-based. Evergrande is bigger.
But when you say collapse,
yeah, I mean,
what do you actually mean by collapse? Because that's a very Ian. This is something, Ian. This is China, bro. This is the world's strongest economy in the next 10 years. This isn't just a regular country. This is China.
Mathematically, if a country or any entity, like at what point, how much risk and how much leverage can you use before it has negative ramifications on your GDP or on your business? There's no business that is too big to fail. No country. We see it with our country right now.
That's true.
America's Hulk Hogan right now. Last night, Ric Flair. Woo! Nature Boy. Was that in the 80s? Not right now. Hanging on by a thread. If we took Apple away, Microsoft, Google, man, we'd be third world country. It's scary, but
third world country.
Take Apple and Microsoft and Google out of our economy.
That's top 4 in the world, though. I mean,
what is the GDP? Someone put it in chat. What's the market cap of Apple, Microsoft, and Google? Subtract that from the GDP. What percentage of GDP do those 3 companies add to our economy? Is America better now than it was even 20 years ago?
Those are all billion-dollar companies.
Well, that's like saying if you take LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry away from the NBA. I mean, if you take the best, yeah, of course. Like that's
but look at it like this: the rest of the S&P is Eric Snow's.
Shout out to Eric Snow.
Eric Snow cousins. I don't want no issue. I'm just saying.
Shout out to Eric Snow.
Shout out to Eric Snow.
Like they're okay. Even when we get to talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Algorand, XRP, These are coins. Like there's been more innovation in the coin market in the last 5 years than there's been innovation in corporate America in the last 50. Even Tesla, without Elon, Tesla's a cute Ford. He's the driving force behind it. If Vitalik ran Tesla, nobody would want a Tesla. Yes or no?
Yes or no?
I know everybody think these are hot takes. Listen, go and Josh will say the same shit, and people will be like, "Oh my god, it was genius! Oh my god, yo, just take this shit as law." I'm here to help.
51st law, right here. So I mean, the ramifications, right? I mean, obviously, too big to fail. So I'm thinking, like, obviously, we saw what happened when we had economic downturn. The government does whatever it takes. Yeah. I'm assuming, I mean, from China, they would probably do the same. But I know most people are wondering, like, obviously, their housing market, how's it going to affect ours directly? Their banking system, how's that going to affect us here directly? Obviously, we don't bank with China. It's not even something that we do. So how will it affect, I guess, the average American if that does happen? If
they have a pullback, and when I say crash, I mean, I don't mean collapse and then they're going to go like, they're going to fall apart. Like the economy will be down for 2 or 3 years and then they'll initiate like a bailout package as well. And then things will be fine. So I don't mean like they're going to collapse and then fucking fall into the ocean. Excuse my language.
He can't. Hold on. They saying he can't be Birdie. He's wearing the Georgetown jersey. He's obviously Dwayne Martin in the movie. He's not Birdie.
Pull his razor out though, y'all. Listen.
They list.
Shep. I'm just saying.
We on the roof with it.
Hey, that's all. Okay. Even with that, how he hit the backboard so hard, he fell off the building.
How did that happen? Yo, he jumped through the bit like
legendary.
You hear that nutso?
Boy, they took 2 basketball clips and just put reverse on it. I watched Butter Room the other day. I'm like, it was 3 scenes. Anyway,
jumped off the roof. That was legendary.
Shout out to Liam.
But it will have an impact on us. I mean, the truth is, if you read Ray Dalio's book, the economy overall, like, okay, we put all this venture capital money into social media that has not positively impacted the world. And we're wondering why we don't have more GDP. Like, we are actively watching people re-record audio to go viral on IG and TikTok instead of learn how to build a business. Done by China. So you don't think that if they're implanting certain things on these apps, because the influence just is not on TikTok, you don't think that some of this is done to help hurt our economy? And even if they go down, that will allow them to buy more in DR, allow them to buy more in Africa, which they're dominant in. For those of you who don't travel and don't see, sorry, going to buy more in Puerto Rico. They're getting closer to us every year, and they're quietly building and quietly acquiring a lot to then win this game of chess that they've been playing. We need better leadership from top. We need better capital plans. We need better capital deployment. We need better companies. So when I'm telling you guys, you have to build the companies of the future, they're needed. We don't need another social media app. We need some actually real companies that makes real change in the world. But I mean, people can say that I'm wrong, and that's fine too. Give it 4 or 5 months.
This that Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? This that Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Your boy going up. I know they can't stand it.